met in 2020,
we think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a successful cooperation, let's say so.
Yeah.
I did my thing to suggest which boats is the best, and also help the whole way to find the boat and do the inspections and ask if there is necessary also to get the real inspection done. And of course, this involves also to talk with the brokers, and you are broker.
Exactly.
Yes.
I have been a yacht broker now for almost 15 years.
That's quite a lot of boats you have seen, I guess.
Yeah, I think we are about 400 boats sold in this 14 or 15 years.
Okay, that's good numbers.
Yeah.
And before actually we move to questions, let's clarify. You work with the boats from 30 foot up.
Yeah.
And is there a price range limit?
Not really.
Yeah.
We try to get boats that has a value of more than 100,000 euro.
Yes.
As a minimum, and then we go up to 2.5, 3 million. It depends of the boat.
But this mostly are Swedish built here in Scandinavia, because Berthon is not just here. You have also sister mother companies and this network, but this is a Swedish part are focused more on the boats that is kind of local here.
Yeah, you can say so, because before we start to do this, I worked many years for Nyad, and I also worked for Halbarassi. So I think because there is many of these boats here, we kind of focus on this type of Swedish boats, or high quality boats, or whatever people call it.
But let's add to this. It's not just high quality boats, but it is also well kept boats. And we're talking about the spoiled Swedish boats that
Exactly.
I heard. But can you agree to the fact that here in Sweden, in the northern part, for these kind of boats, you can get really good deals if you talk about shape, because it's kept well, let's say so.
Yeah, normally it's not always like this, but normally a boat that is in the north of Europe is well kept, because they stay on land for maybe 6 months per year, and some of them stay also inside a heated winter storage hall, which often has also the moisture is
the moisturing to reduce the moisture in the air.
Exactly. And for a boat to spend 6 months on land and inside, of course it keeps the boat better than if it is outside the whole year.
Yes, and if you look at how salty is the water, this is also another thing to mention, I guess.
Yeah. Here on the Swedish west coast we have salty water, but I don't know how many percent, but it's not so salty. On the east coast of Sweden there is no salt, and you can really see that old boats that are on the east coast, they often look really good, no corrosion, nothing, and this has to do with the salt in the water.
It's not just what you see. But you deal with lots of inspections, and you probably have noticed that actually the engines rust from inside when it's in salty waters, stuff like that. These things that you cannot not always see. But,
exactly.
But it wears down, and is there also weather? There are kind of on these big lakes there can be rough waves, and this does these things matter?
I don't think so. I think the fact that it is less salt makes a difference.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the boats are up on the land for 6 months makes a difference.
If we jump into the practical thing, if the boat is kept well in these conditions, it's often in warm halls and even fresh water, almost brackish water, it's kept. Does the price also comes along? Because what I have saw in the market, that often that even good boat in top shape can cost very similar to the really bad one that is kind of not kept well because of the model, because of the price specifics. And
it's a general question, but normally the boats that are in a good general condition, they are more easy to sell. And if a boat is in good condition and one is not in a good condition, and the price is the same, then probably the boat that is not in good condition, the price is too high. It will not sell for this price.
Yeah,
it's the normal way.
Right now, Swedish krona is quite weak, let's say so, compared to some other currencies. And is it the best time to buy a boat? Can let's say some from other countries like Europe to buy in euros, or if you buy in dollars, that doesn't matter. If from other currency that is now stronger than it was before, is it possible to actually gain some benefit out of it?
I would say for the boats that we work with, we sell, I would guess, 75-80% outside of Sweden. And that means that when we look at the price, what we think is a fair market price, we don't really think about Swedish money. We think in euro. So in the end of the day, when the Swedish currency is low, it is good for the person that sell the boat. The person that buy the boat basically pay the same as they would pay in Germany or Holland or Portugal.
Okay. But do you set the price, or the seller comes with his kind of idea?
We always make a very good market study when we get a new boat. We present this to the boat owner, and sometimes they think, okay, you do this as a professional work, we follow what you say, then we set the price. But sometimes some boat owners, they think, my boat is nicer than every other boat in the world, and then they suggest we should use a higher price, and then this we do. If we put the price too high, what is normally happening is that we don't get any inquiries. And if we get inquiries, we get questions directly, why is the price so high? And we try to explain why the price is high. But in the end of the day, if you want to sell a boat, most people are not stupid. If they want to buy whatever boat, they know what is the normal price quite well, actually. So in the end of the day, we sell our boats to market value.
And is there any boat, like, there are some boats that are kind of, people are hunting a few really good ones. And is there some boat that is kind of in a wish list for many, and you just wait for it to appear to the market, so just to grab it, like so? Ole Anderson designer and something. So
it happens, but it's not so normal, because if there has not been this boat model around on the market for 1 year or 2 years, then it can be that it sells directly. But often a boat sale, it happened, of course, often that we sell a boat in 1 week or 2 weeks, but it's not so normal, because to buy a boat for, as our average boat is about 300,000 euro, is nothing that you just do like this. So people want to look and they compare and so on. So it happens that we sell boats in 1 week, but it's not so normal.
But even if it's season, it's season, it's warm outside, and you just have to do it as fast as possible.
This makes a difference. Like in the spring, we sell boats normally much quicker than if we put out a boat today.
But about the sellers, does the more boats also appear in the market?
This time of the year there is less boats for sale, but in the spring, of course, is a good time to sell your boat, especially if you have motorboat, because sailing boats is more different. Many people like to buy a sailing boat now in the autumn or in the winter, because then they have time to fix whatever they think they want to fix.
And is it cheaper?
No, it's not cheaper.
It's the same price. It doesn't really matter. Is this Christmas gift or you get it in midsummer?
Yeah, it is the same price.
Okay. When you are buying boat, there is like Wild West. If you buy directly from a private seller, then many things you have to think in account. But if you buy it from a broker like you, then you take care of most of the things, and you probably know also the tips and tricks and the problems that can be avoided. And here I'm talking about, in Sweden we have here this
Konsumentköplagen.
This is like in German style. It's Konsumentshop. Basically, these are the rules that protect you as a buyer if you buy something that is not worth, or how to say it better, which is kind of described wrong.
This is a law that if you buy a boat from a broker or from a company, you're protected by this law. And basically the laws say that if we don't show things that we know is bad, then it happens a problem, then they can come to us and complain.
Yeah, but let's imagine a real situation. So I'm buying a boat from you, and then after I don't know, but let's take not few hours, but let's say 3 weeks. I was driving to Mediterranean. I didn't took up the sails, and I don't care. I need to be in destination, so I went full throttle, and engine broke in France somewhere, and I'm running into problems. Now the rescue came, and so whose responsibility is that?
It's you.
Okay, but there is, but on the other hand, it's also something that maybe you sold something with a defect.
It's.
There must be some balance.
There is, but it depends on the boat, on the age of the boat. If you bought from us a boat that is 30 years old and the motor brake because you drive full speed for many hours, then it is not obvious that this is like a problem that was available when you bought it. And even if it is available, a boat engine that is 30 years old, it can break. It needs to be maintained in a proper way and so on. So I must say that for us, because we try always to get the people who buy boats from us to hire a proper surveyor. And then the surveyor check everything. So of these 400 boats what we have sold, I think only one time we have had a problem with a person that came back after he bought the boat and complained about something.
Yeah. What's the secret? What was the thing?
It was something with the bottom paint, with the anti-fouling, that he was not happy with. So in this case, to paint with new anti-fouling is not a big job, so we just did this.
Yeah. But in general, there is the tight line. I wanted to get maybe deeper in it, because it is important, because you actually are the barrier. Because if someone sells the boat, they basically leave. Their hands are free. You take all the responsibility if there is something.
Now, if you sell it as a private person, or if you buy from a private person, you can basically not complain about anything. If you buy it through us, you can complain, and for us, we go back to the buyer and we find a solution to solve the problem. But as I say, if you do the work good from the beginning, and we check our boats most of the time, a surveyor check it, and so we don't have this type of problems.
Yeah.
It's very good actually.
No.
Because I don't like problems.
No.
I can have problems before we sell a boat, but when it's sold, we don't want problems, and we basically never have it.
I heard the rumors that this new consummate this changed now in this year.
Yeah.
And what is kind of important for international buyers? If you think, if let's say so, you can give it back boat after 14 days.
No.
If you don't like it, let's say.
No, this is not possible.
Is there something else that it should be kind of worth mentioning for international buyers that they have to think about, or for locals also? What's the changes in this new law?
The thing is, if you buy from a company like us or somebody else, you're protected with this law. This means that we, as brokers, we have to say all the problems that we know. If the boat owner tell us, I ran aground 5 years ago, the boat is fixed, so it's no problem at all. But this is also something that, of course, we should inform about, because some people think a boat that has been aground is not good, even though they have wrong in this.
Yeah.
So we have to always say everything we know. Yeah. And we never hide anything. When we show a boat, normally we first say, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And then we say all the good things.
But in general, this is mostly sold by inspection. Because the inspector that you use, we talked with the bank, and he's the good one. Yeah,
he's one of the people who.
Yeah, in Sweden he's one of the top guys for sure. And I know that. But who's choosing the surveyor? You probably have a list, because there is a list that the buyer can choose.
Yeah, the buyer is the one that chooses the surveyor. We never recommend Bengt or Peter, who live here on Orust, because of course we know them, and you cannot recommend somebody you know.
You go in the same shops and you say hi.
Yeah, exactly. And but on the other side, we give information and say that if you buy a boat here on Orust, there is 2 people that do survey. We know them very well, and they do most of our boats. So if you want to choose one of them, it is up to you.
Yeah.
So that is the way it is.
I can actually approve it, because I do these surveys. They are not surveys that like official ones. I'm not part of the. There is this certification process. I'm not there. But people kind of like how I do it. I do it very in detail, and who knows? I will not. This is not a marketing video or something, but I can approve it that you have never contacted me, even if we have been in touch. You have never sent some customer to me. And I always that's the way how I get to you. It's always from other side, because someone asks wants to buy something, so I help them to consult a bit and what fits best, and
exactly.
And we look for a boat, and then we see there is a good thing. Of course, if we are living close, I can maybe faster now if some boat comes in the market. It's another thing, but in general it comes from the customer side. So.
Yeah, and also not many, but some people, they maybe have bought 3 boats before, and they already have somebody that have made a survey for them on the other boats what they bought. So they send a surveyor here from England or Germany or something like this. And of course it costs a little bit more, but if you have, as a boat buyer, if you have a good surveyor, it is of course good to bring them when you buy a new boat.
We got into geography now, and I think it's good topic, because if I would live elsewhere, not here, and I see that there is a good boat in Sweden, and Sweden is a really good market for buying boats. Absolutely, it's much better than Mediterranean, but this is of course my personal view, but we get in that maybe later. You just you buy a boat and then you sail to Caribbean. You just have fantastic 3 years, you enjoy that, and then you decide to go for something bigger, let's say. And then you fly back to France or to Latvia or to whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have a boat there and you have to sell it. What's the you like to work with? You have a good experience with your previous broker. Let's say in this case Berthon.
Yeah.
Then you would like to come to you. So can you please sell my boat? But there is a catch. It's in Caribbean, and what to do in these situations? Is it?
Caribbean is quite a long way for us to go and take photos and video and stuff like this. So depending what boat it is, like the price of the boat, we sometimes take boats in the Caribbean, but also we have, as Berthon, we have an office in the east coast of the States. So I would recommend that you go to our colleagues in America.
But maybe I can get more money out here.
Yeah, this depends what type of boat you have and if you're lucky or not. But we find that it is more easy to sell a Swedish-built boat in the north of Europe than it is in the Mediterranean or in the Caribbean. But you just need one buyer. So maybe there is somebody in America that see, it's a Rassi 36 for sale in Caribbean, and then they just buy it. So it is hard to say as a principle, but normally the Scandinavian boats are more easy to sell in the north of Europe.
Yeah. That's interesting, but of course there are many practical aspects. The boats also are different and varied.
But then I think it's a little bit strange, because if, for example, if I would buy a boat, if I would have time to sail as much as I like, I think I would not mind at all to buy a nice boat in the Mediterranean, because then I can just fly there. I can start to sail when the weather is nice, and if I want to go to the Caribbean, I just go out through the Gibraltar Sound, and
yes.
So it is quite good to also to buy a boat in the Mediterranean.
You mentioned very good point. It's and I can add a thing that you don't need to always have just one boat.
No, exactly.
Oh, this is not the light one.
Okay.
This is about the taxes, and there are three magical words. It's VAT, VAT, and it's I guess it comes up quite often because different countries are more strict with this import or how you say the tax that is paid for a boat. Is it paid or not paid? And you probably have to have some proof of it. In Sweden, I know it's very easy. Let's say no one really cares, but if you are in France or if you are in Holland, if you are in I don't know what states so much, but I guess they could be strict, especially now when Trump is steering.
But with the VAT for boats in EU, there is some countries that are very strict on this, and I would say if you have a boat, you should be very. You should think when you buy a boat. You should buy a boat that has either an invoice from when the boat was new, where it say that VAT is paid, or if you if you buy a Swedish boat and you are from Germany, normally you buy it without VAT from the yard. And then you import it to Germany, and then you get from the custom document that say that you have paid a VAT. So one of these two documents is very important, and it makes the boat much easier to sell in the end.
But how it is that there are boats, let's say you pay 200,000 euros and you don't have it, and now you have to, let's say, go to Norway. What could be the worst example? It's, Spain, I guess, is also very strict.
I mean,
and you don't have the paper, and the owner. Yes, it's paid.
Yeah,
but it's just
Yeah, then it's a moment 22, because if you don't have the paper. But you know that it is paid, then you cannot prove it. and then you have a problem.
Yes, but then
it's a boring problem.
You have to pay the tax then.
No, I would not do it. I would sail until somebody asked me if I have this paper, and but I mean it's not fun to sail around and have the risk that that somebody check your boat and you have to pay this VAT.
Yeah.
I think it's not very common that it happen, but the discussion, what you hear is that it happens very often, which I don't think, because I often ask people that sail, and of course you get stopped sometimes by the Coast Guard, and you have to show papers of the boat. But normally what they check is that you are the owner of the boat, that you don't bring drugs and stuff like this.
Yeah.
They don't normally ask whether the boat is VAT paid or not.
Yeah. But this raises a question about the boats changing flags. Because it has to be registered probably in some other countries. And Sweden is without a register. Here you can do as you like.
Yeah, I wish it was registered, that every boat was registered. It would make it easier. On the other side, the Swedish boats that are registered, when you register the boat, the VAT paper is not relevant. You can register the boat with or without a VAT document. Because the registration more prove that you are the owner of the boat.
Is there some special registration, let's say, authorities? Because there is not the government one, and there is clubs that take care of it. Is there something more? I don't know. What's the registration for, let's say, boats over the 100,000? Because you want to really have a real proof that this is really you. Because you know, in Sweden, I guess it's even possible. I mean, not to say how to register a boat, but it's possible to even go and register your boat like mine. So
it should not be possible.
Should not be possible. No. Yeah, but
and if you go to the proper register, which is run by Transportstyrelsen.
Yeah.
Then they ask for relevant documents,
yes.
Like you have to present like a bill of sale which says that you have paid a boat, you bought it from some other person, but if you register in a more like a club register, they are not the same. They don't have the same. What is it called? They maybe don't ask for the same type of papers. But if now I do have a boat, but if I had a little bit bigger boat, I would register this boat, because I think then it's much better. If you go to other different countries, you just can show this, no problem. So it's good to register the boat.
But there is a limit in Transportstyrelsen. You have to register from 14 meters?
I think from 15 meters.
From 15 meters, yeah.
And up. And if you have lower than 50 meters, you don't have to register.
You cannot even register, I guess.
I think you can register, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you go sailing, like go cruising in Europe or wherever you want to go, then you must have a register, because often when you come into a new harbor, you have to check in and you have to show your registration. Yes. And also if you sail to the Caribbean or so, you always have to have a register of your boat.
But if you have this, let's say, yellow from Kaiserklubben, as an example,
it's good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You can go to Caribbean and to sail there. Yeah. This is maybe out of topic, but if you are not Swedish and you still sail under a Swedish flag with this yellow document of a register with your name on, because it is possible, is it okay? You have to, or I have to be citizen?
Yeah, I cannot really answer this, but
that's okay. So that's
but what I think is that if you like I don't know if you're Swedish
yes, I am.
Citizen.
Yes.
But if you have an address and you actually live in Sweden, then it's like the place residency. Yeah. Then I would say that you can register in Sweden and sail with a Swedish flag.
Okay.
But if you would live in America, for example, then you cannot register in Sweden.
Yeah. There are rules and ways around it, and you can play it if you want to, do these things. But the proper way is to register and be safe. And
Yeah, and it's also easier because when you sell the boat, because in Sweden we have not so strong rules about registration, but in many other countries they have. So when you register a boat in, say, France, then you have to send in the bill of sale, but you also have to send in a paper that say now the boat is not registered in Sweden anymore.
Yeah.
And if it is not registered, then you cannot send in this paper. So then it gives some other problems, but normally we can solve this.
Oh, it's I know how painful can be the paperwork.
Yeah.
And, I know that in Spain I had to have the stamps with the red and blue, and you cannot mix the colors and stuff. It was a bit messy, but if you buy a boat here, all the documentation is in Swedish.
No, depends where the boat, the age of the boat.
Yeah.
And of course nowadays many manuals and things is in English, and also people more and more, they don't care so much about manuals because you find everything on internet.
I meant me more like contracts and what documents and these things.
Okay, the contracts we do in the language, in English or Swedish.
Yes.
Of course, if it is too Swedish, we do it in Swedish. If there is somebody that don't understand Swedish, we do it in English.
Yeah. Let's talk about money. Because if you buy a boat, there is these two sides and then you are in the middle. And the seller, they don't want to waste the time. And they don't want to waste money or doesn't matter what the resource, they want to have a serious buyers.
Yeah.
And then comes deposit in the game. And how does it work? Do the buyer has to pay in some money to check out the boat, test sail, get some surveyor involved? How this part, the financial part, is how the payments are made, and is there a deposit or not, and how big it is?
It's a good question. Normally what we do, because we follow our contract, which is kind of standard for most brokers, is that we agree between the buyer and the seller about the price and when the boat should be delivered and things like this. And most of the time we sign a contract and it's subject to survey, which means that the buyer should make a survey, and in this survey, if there is big problems, the buyer can complain and say, this is a big problem, how do we solve this? And then we try to solve either with price reduction or that the owner of the boat fix the problem.
Or leave it. Just get better price.
Or leave it and reduce the price. This is
Yeah.
also an option, which is a good option depending who is the buyer and who is the seller. And when the contract is signed, you pay this 10% deposit.
Yeah.
And if the boat turn out to be bad in the survey, the deposit go back to the buyer.
But if
and we cancel the contract.
But in case if let's say I'm the buyer and I change my mind, I go for a red Porsche and I don't want to have boat anymore. So it's like nah. Then the deposit.
Then you lose the deposit. You can back out because there is problems in the survey with the boat.
Yes.
Then you get it back. But if you just decide that no, I don't want to buy a boat, then you lose your deposit. So when you sign the contract and pay the deposit, then you show that you want to buy this boat.
Yeah. Does it if you put the deposit down, which is absolutely normal thing, you sign the contract, but the deposit is good. Does it gets you like a first guy in a row? So the boat is kind of reserved for you. You make a decision, then the next one who has who want to buy it comes into game.
Yeah,
Exclusivity, it's called.
Yeah, I mean, if we have a contract with a deposit, then you are the one that can buy the boat. If you choose to back out because the teak deck is it's totally wet under the teak deck, then you have the full right to back out. You get the deposit back, and we can call the next one in the line and say, look, you backed out because the deck was wet. And if the next person don't mind to buy a boat to a reduced price with a wet deck, he can buy it.
But let's take it from another side. So me, I cannot afford the boat that I want. It's huge exploration boat with diving area. We can go on. So, but maybe I could come to you, check such boat, and put those 10%, and I have calculated after 30 years I have enough money to buy it. Will you wait?
Yeah, but we of course in the contract we put up some time limits.
Yeah, and what are those?
It's from case to case.
Yes.
But I mean, if somebody want to buy a boat, most of the people that want to buy a boat, they want to make a survey as soon as possible. So as soon as possible is normally within 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and so we have this normally as a time limit.
Yeah.
So you cannot just pay the deposit.
Keep it like it's for
40 years.
40 years. Yeah.
No, this is not possible. It's adjusted or regulated in the contract.
Yeah, absolutely. I just pushing further because there can be some these things to buy a boat. It is very how to say better. It's not easy to understand because there are such terms, and you have to be aware that you will not get money if you just don't decide to buy a car or change your mind, and also this time frame. If it's agreed individually, probably, and it can vary, but you should actually count that it can be like maximum 6 months or 3 months. You have to make, or 3 weeks. You have to make the decision. So you cannot wait forever.
No, exactly.
And in this case also you have to probably make sure that you have money, because in some situations are banks involved, loans involved. There is a company money used to buy a boat. You have to be actually very sure that you have the money before you even go into this.
Absolutely. And most of the time it works very good. So we normally don't have problems with that somebody come up and say suddenly, I don't have money.
Yeah.
But we have one thing which I think is maybe interesting, is like if we sell a boat today and it's in a winter haul, then we don't put it in the water to just make a test sail. So what happened is that then the surveyor checked the boat in the winter haul, everything what he can check. We do the transfer of ownership, like the buyer pay all the money and is the owner of the boat. But normally we keep, say, 10,000 euro or 20,000 euro, depending on the size of the boat. We keep on our account until the boat has been put in the water and tested. And so in case there is some stupid problem, then and the seller say, no, I don't want to pay, then we have this money on our account, so we can pay for this problem before we send the rest to the seller.
But that means that you like to keep the money in the middle to make sure that everyone gets treated well.
Yeah.
It means that if this deposit doesn't go to the owner of the boat current, but it stays at you in a special account, which is like the deal account.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this is one of the good thing by using a broker, because to pay 300,000 euro to a private person without having like a document that say you are the owner or something like this, it can be a little bit scary. If they pay it to us, then when we have the money on our account, also the seller send to us a bill of sale which he sign.
Yeah.
And when we have the money and the bill of sale, then we can do the transfer of ownership, because then we just put the date when we send the money to the seller.
Yes.
So it's a very safe way.
It's safe.
This is one of the reasons why you should go and use a broker.
Yeah. No, I think it's also easy because you take care of many things, and as a seller, you don't need to. It's not so painful to go through because you probably know, you have experience, you can guide through this process quite easy.
Yeah, and we have practiced for a long time, so most of the time everything runs smoothly, and we have good contacts when we need to lift boats and make survey and fix things and so on. So it normally works good.
If we think about how much cost service, because it involves several things, we can talk about what it involves and what's the price for everything. Of course, it varies probably on the boats. Maybe it's a percentage or something. But what do you do to get this boat out in front of the potential buyer? You probably make videos, photos, make some publish ads in Yacht World, in Blocket, or
yeah. We try our best to make really nice photos and video, and we also put down a kind of very detailed specification of all the equipment. And when this is done, then we advertise, and we advertise worldwide. So I don't know, I think we use maybe 20 different advert sites. One of them is Yacht World, which is a good but a very expensive site.
Yeah, doesn't many say that now. So
yeah,
it's getting more and more expensive, and who knows what's going to be next year.
Yeah, this we will find out. So we just advertise everywhere, and of course also in Sweden on Blocket, which is a great website. Then we just basically wait until somebody contacts us. We give them whatever info they want. We always send to them a lot of high resolution photos so they can zoom in and check and call and say like, on photo number 68, what is this black thing there? And then we can explain. And hopefully we get them to come and look at the boat. We show it and continue the sales process.
Have you also some? It sounds that could be a good thing to have. It's like a database of potential buyers that would like to buy some kind of boat. Maybe it's not in the market. Maybe you know that they want to have an upgrade or something. Do you have this kind of buyer wish list?
Absolutely.
Or do you have also this potential sellers list? Because we talked now, sorry for the short interruption, we talked about the guy that boat one that I was involved, and you mentioned that he is selling another boat now. He probably sold that one, boat, the bigger one.
Yeah, bigger. Yeah, I think the one that you and I was involved was a 42, and now we have a 45.
Yeah, so
it's a little bit bigger.
And now he's selling.
Yeah,
selling it, and but what I wanted to say about this wish list, these things. Do you have it?
Yeah. Many people contact us and say, I search for a 36-foot Rassi, Naiad or Maler, and then we save them, and when we get the boat in like this, we contact them.
Yeah, but do you also do the thing that I do? It's consult them what fits better for a family with 3 and dog.
This we do, and the best is if we have at the same time, like here in the winter halls, if we have 3 boats that are quite similar, because then people can feel which boat is best for them, because everybody think different.
Yeah.
So often now in the winter, when we have many boats here, we recommend people to come and they can look at the Albarrassi, at the Naiad, at the Maler in about the same size.
Yeah.
And find out what they like best.
That sounds like a plan. You can basically not 100% rely on it, but it is a good chance if you fly in from somewhere and you arrange a meeting. Then here you can go to these 3 boats and actually choose.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is not something that happens all the time, because it's on different countries, and so it can be so that one boat is in one part, another one is maybe some 5,000 kilometers away.
Exactly, and for us it's very good, and for the sellers, when we have 2 exactly the same type of boats. For example, comes up in my mind, we had the Naiad 440, which is a nice boat, and one had a saloon with 2 sofas, and one have a saloon with 2 chairs and 1 sofa. And this subject, sofa or chairs, many people care very much about. And it's about 50-50. Some people like chairs, some people like 2 sofas. And then they can come and they can look and try the chairs, and maybe it is not so bad as we thought. So it's really nice when people can look at like similar boats but different.
That's a very good point. It is comfortable.
Yeah,
because to get to buy a boat is not an easy thing.
No, it is not.
No.
It's many things.
But it's in general it is kind of easy. The result is fantastic. But I would also recommend, if you are making a bigger purchase, if you want to play around for a season, or buy a day cruiser, or if you buy a new boat, smaller, you are quite in good hands, and you can be safe and to make decisions self and so on. But I would say that it's not a bad idea to talk with someone, and this is not
but it happens quite often that somebody come here because they want to look at some model what they think is perfect for them, and of course I notice that maybe they need a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. So after I listen what they say for a while, I say maybe you should go and look also at this boat, and they look at this boat, and many times they buy this boat instead of the one what they came to look for. And this I think is good.
I think it's also very worth. You don't want to end up with a boat that you are 2 meters long and it's like 170 headroom.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You have an old boat that is updated. You have the good electronics on it. You maybe have the older hull shape and something, and it costs the same money like a new boat with not relatively new, 10 years old, without such updates. You should go for a year, or you should go for the. But this is general broad question.
It's general, and I think it's up to the person who buy the boat, because older boats, they are older, they have a different design and things like this. Some people think that the older boats with more V-shaped hulls and so on, that they are nicer to go with when you go on the big ocean. But they are also, because they are slower, they need often more wind and so on. So it's more what you like. It's very difficult to say if this is better or this is better. It's for the person who buy the boat to decide what is good and bad.
I can only agree, because there's a safety discussions about the new boats being not as robust as the old ones and stuff like that. It's difficult to say. I think if you run aground, you run aground, and maybe the feeling is like a full keel is more safe, and maybe it is, I don't know, compared to a keel that is just a fin with a big bulb. But I think it's the design of boats move forward the whole time, and nowadays you cannot buy almost you cannot buy a full keel boat, because probably nobody want to buy it, even if it's very safe. This is it is so it seems. This is one of the key moments, I guess. The blue water cruising, and people that watching my channel are, I have to admit, 40 plus, like me and older, which has some capacities and dreams, and maybe they waited for a long time, and some are retiring. And I want to have this blue water cruiser, and they have money for it and different budgets, but often this is 100,000 euros plus 200,000 euros and so on. And how to buy and how to look for this kind of blue water cruiser, and is it possible to find some here in Sweden? Probably you have it next door.
Yeah, of course we have. No, I think the most important is to buy a boat. It doesn't matter so much what type of boat it is. It doesn't matter so much what type of equipment it has, because as long as you buy a boat and start sailing, then you start your dream. If you find out after X number of weeks or months or years that you think it's very important to have a extra fridge, then you can install one.
Yeah.
But it's better to start because you don't need so much as you think. There is many people that dream to go sailing. They buy a boat, they take 5 years to put new stuff inside and so on, like equipment, and they end up not going away. So I think just buy a boat, you don't need much, and go. When I was like about 35, I sailed 3 years in the Caribbean with my family, which was at that time 2 small girls and my wife. And then we sailed on a 32-foot boat. We didn't have a fridge, we didn't have anything that is not absolutely necessary, and we had great fun.
Yeah, it is possible.
It is absolutely possible. Because often, if you have too much equipment, it's often the equipment that breaks, and then if your water maker is not working, then maybe you will be sitting in a marina for 2 weeks before you get the spare part, whereas we could just sail around and we save a little bit on the water. I must say now I have changed my mind. So for me, I think there is only 3 important things. You need electricity in a good way. You need also water. So now if I would go sailing for a year, I would get a water maker.
Yeah.
And the most important of all equipment is an autopilot.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Oh, it is very good to mention. Is there any boat, if we just zoom out of Berthon, of your professional thing, is it something that you can recommend as a ultimate ocean cruiser? For you, let's say, or something that is super stable, safe, and has all these things out of
if I would have an unlimited budget, I would, in my case, go for a boat approximately 44 foot.
Yeah.
I like this size because I think that a 44 foot boat, when you sail in waves, it moves more slow and nice compared to a smaller boat.
Yeah.
I don't want bigger because I don't need bigger. So for me, 44 foot is normally a very good size, and also it has normally enough space for the water maker, for good batteries and things like this, and you also have storage, so you can bring spare parts and so on. For me, 44 is a perfect size.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if I would get a 36 foot, I would be just as happy. I just have to pack things a little bit different, and but no, for me 44 I think is a very good size.
Yeah.
Plus minus 2.
Okay, we stay with the size. I mean, don't go in different kinds of models and stuff because this is so personal. It's,
it is.
The lines and so on. So that some likes the swan lines, some likes the Naiad lines.
Exactly, and. It's easy when you're a Swedish that have spent a lot of time here on Orust to actually like the Albarrassi, the Naiads, and and so on, because they are quite nice.
But we have also these disco style in 70s. It's a maxi boats with these
Yeah.
kind of weird shape windows and stuff like that. Is
Yeah.
I call them disco boats.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a question of choice. So which kind of sunglasses you wear. So
Exactly. and mainly we sell many different types of boat, but most of the boats what we sell is more cruising boats.
yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to like this type of boats for me.
Yeah. Thank you, Magnus, for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
It was nice talking to you, and
Same for me.
yeah,
Nice to talk to you.
and I guess it's not the last time we see each other, because I still gonna work with the boats and help people to buy boats.
Yes. Yeah.
And yes, and I know where you are, and
This is good.
and for those who are already decided to do something, and they like what you say, and you feel confident, and I can say it was very smooth process dealing with you in those old times in
Yeah.
2020. It's how it should be, and I think it's if you buy and sell a boat that is worth maybe 10,000 euros or 5,000 euros, of course it's not worth to take a pictures for.
No.
No, of course, and then if you sell 100,000, 200, then 300 and up, then it's you also save a lot of time. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
And lots of trouble.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to actually sell a boat, because we get a lot of email, phone calls, showings, and we have to prepare everything. And so the time to sell a boat is longer than I thought when I started with this.
And I can also say that that involves costs. For those that they are looking to buy a boat, I think broker it's not a bad choice at all. Because in my time when I work with some private customer that want to have they have often specific needs.
Yeah.
They want to sometimes even exact models and so on. It takes time for me to go there, and I have to travel.
Yeah.
And it can easily take up to a month. And to visit different sites, different locations, it involves in hotels and so, and it's not cheap too.
No.
So, but if you do it on your own, I cannot imagine actually. It's if you are not being in boat yards, and if you don't understand the details, and if you haven't seen so much boats and so much situations like a professional has seen, it's a great help you can have. I think so.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's okay. I'm gonna like commercial, but
No, but it is like
but this is true. I think it's smart.
Yeah, and I think if you're a good yacht broker, you must listen carefully to the people who want to buy a boat, because some of them don't have a lot of experience, and then it is very fun and interesting, and they really appreciate when you can kind of guide them to make the right choice. This is one of the most fun thing with our job.
Yeah. Thank you, Magnus, for getting those sellers and buyers together and dreams happen.
Yeah.
We can say so.
Yeah.
The sailing is a part dreaming, part realization of it.
It is.
Thank you, and we see you
Yeah.
around.
Super.